Solo dungeons, especially in tier 5 yellow zones, in mapped solo dungeons, it doesn't matter. They've been heavily nerfed over the years to where they are no longer worth doing. For fame, they are absolutely worthless. And a lot of people, a lot of new players think that they should be doing it for silver. And I'm going to show you today that no, that's not the case. And I'm using the fastest possible dungeon clearing build in the entire game. We have a Spectre Hood to reset our armor. We have a Spectre Jacket with a self-ignition, so we just deal more damage. The Light Crossbow deals instant damage most of the time, keeps our movement speed high. Grip Candle, more damage. Royal Sandals, move speed and more damage. Black Panther to help find dungeons faster because of the sprint. So this build, this is the apex possible build. It's all leveled up, maxed out. There's no getting any faster than this. So I'm eating a cabbage soup so that I can regenerate life between pulls. As you can see, this armor absolutely drains my health when I'm in combat. But outside of combat, the soup will, well, struggle and fight against the damage over time aspect and regenerate my life. And so we're going to be doing 30 minutes today of solo dungeons and in a tier 5 yellow zone. And that's just what we're doing. So, yeah, sit back, enjoy. Also, my cape is a Thetford cape for the lightning damage. That's just more DPS, more damage, more DPS. Everything's Gucci. And we're just going to run through this dungeon as quick as we can and grab all the chests we can. And, yeah, I'm going to show you how much this would technically earn. Now, I'm also filling mercenary journals while I do this, so it's just extra earnings. I won't factor that into the earnings because mercenary journals are... they're a huge money sink until you get them going. They really, really are. Alright, but we're just going to kill all the mobs here. And you can see, like, our first chest of the day, a green chest. It's not the best, right? But it's free loot, and there is potential, because it's a tier 5 zone, for there to be 7.4 gear in this chest, of course. But that would be a jackpot. Of course, we have no gear. First up, that was like 2,000 silver in the chest. We are 2 minutes in, 2,000 silver. And no, I'm not counting silver drops from the mobs. These mobs here, as you can see, their silver was 76. Also, I just want to point out that everything you're watching in today's video is with premium. This is with premium. I have 6 days of premium active on my account here. And so I do get a loot bonus of 50% because that's active. Also, I'm faction flagged and I'm 3 zones away. So what that means is I get another 15% loot bonus from that. Well, it's not showing up right now for some reason, but it's normally there, so I might not have it at the moment. I think maybe some of the zones might have gotten captured. But we're on our way to the second floor dungeon. Now, this floor took me around 3 minutes to clear. I can normally clear these in 1 minute and 45, but I guess it was a bigger tile set. They did change, aka nerf the tile sets not too long ago. They nerfed a lot of purple chests to blue chests to green chests, and the tile sets, if they make them bigger, that means it takes longer to clear the dungeon, and you get less chests overall. So it's just, yeah, it's cool that they added new, areas to look at, but, as far as silver per hour and fame per hour goes, it was a nerf. And, of course, they're never going to advertise it that way because they don't want people to know, but that's just the real honest truth of it. So, again, the reason we clear the mobs is so that we can loot the chests. That's the only reason. We don't really have to clear the mobs, but, I mean, we have to clear a certain amount of mobs. Alright. And here we are coming up to the next boss here. Now, there's a few tricks. If you do enough dungeons, you'll kind of know the tricks. But in this tile set, you always want to go downstairs. And that's going to be where the boss is. Another green chest. Nothing too special here. But we're just going to... I'm not even going to use my armor on it because it's just a green boss. So they only have like 4k HP. Not a big deal. And you will have people in the comments possibly another 2k chest. See? Again, we're earning almost nothing for doing this. You'll have people in the comments that swear by doing mapped dungeons. Or doing black or red zone dungeons. For one... you can't go this stacked out into a red or black zone unless you're in a guild and with people that will protect you. Because the second you go into a full loot zone with this kind of gear, you're being hunted down. Entire people will just mobilize in a Discord and hunt you down for your loot. As a matter of fact, one of the people that just logged in, or logged off, I guess, 2 minutes ago, that's what he does. Him and his team, they just go hunt people. And, boy, he makes a lot of silver doing it. But, again, he's doing it with an entire group, and an entire entourage of people. Now, this is a new tile set, so I don't know what this chest is going to be, but this circle indicates it's the boss room. So I'm kind of holding my cooldowns. I'm going to wait just a bit. And this could be purple chest. I'm not sure. I don't have eyes on it. It is purple chest. So we have our first purple chest of the day here. And again, this boss just absolutely melts on my build. A ballcaster build would kill the boss faster, but let's go purple loot. We got 30k, so a 5.1 and a flat 5. None of these are considered jackpots. And it's on to the next dungeon. So that dungeon took about 5 minutes. Now, if we were doing a tier 8 mapped dungeon with budget gear, and I mean, when I say budget, I mean 1 million silver. Right now, my gear set, of course, is about 86 million. Alright, you don't have to spend that much, but if I went out into a tier 8 black zone with a 1 million set, and I'm calling that a budget set, even though most players can't afford that, it would take us 15 minutes for the first floor. We would still be in there for 10 more minutes, right? And yes, the potential to earn more in a black zone dungeon, in a map dungeon, is higher. But you also have to factor in the cost of the map dungeon, alright? And the fact that you're not going to find as many dungeons as often as you will in the yellow zones, though that is now up for debate, because as patches roll on, every time you see a solo dungeon spawn, there's an opportunity for it to instead be a corrupted dungeon or a wisp. So, because they added wisps to the game, there's dramatically less solo dungeons to run. But the mists are arguably better for silver per hour and fame per hour, but the open world wins for fame per hour when you're new, and gathering wins for silver per hour. And if you do those separately, you still come out ahead out of doing, you know, that instead of the mists or running solo dungeons. Sorry that I'm talking kind of weird today. It's I ate some spicy salsa, and it's really wrecking my throat. And so we have a fountain here. All we want is the red buff or the blue buff. We don't want the green one. So we got the red buff. And the reason we want the red buff is because it makes us run faster. It makes us deal more damage. So now we're in speedrun mode. So this is where things can get really fast. Like, remember when I was talking about how we can clear a dungeon in 1 minute 45 seconds? This can knock off a whole minute of clear time because of the insane damage that we deal. And it's really good. So that is a green chest. Look how fast we just killed the boss. The boss died in 1 second. Another 2k chest. Again, we don't like the 2k chest, but again, red buff is the buff you want, but it is a 1/3 chance that you draw it. And if you happen to have this buff and you come across another shrine, you don't want to override it. So, like, down here, there's a shrine. I have half a buff left. I'm not going to use that shrine. I'm just going to keep going forward, right? I have no reason to, like, you know, gamble 33% chance to just get one of the other buffs. Now, the blue buff gives you cooldown reduction, and it resets your skills. So, it can be beneficial. The green buff is just a reflect and a life regeneration, which we don't need because we over-gear for the content. Another green chest. Here we are. So let's just go ahead and just start killing. I'm actually going to turn my armor on here just to kill him a little bit faster. And there we are. Another 3k chest in that one. Oh, we have an item drop. Just a single rune. Sometimes those item drops can be good, but not always. And yeah, so we're just killing the mobs, and we're running fast. We're using our boots. We're using our W ability. We're auto-attacking to trigger our cape. And that's how we're killing these mobs relatively quickly. Alright, and again, this build overall, consistently, is the fastest clear, because you can fire and forget, and kill most mobs in a single attack. And also, the move speed from W, it just boosts you. There you go. You want a one-handed build, because you want a crit candle to boost the damage of your Spectre Jacket. That's why we're using it. We are 9 minutes in, and we haven't made much silver at all. We have made a very pussy work. Now, this looks like a dungeon exit. So I'm going to run forward, and it's not. So I'm going to kill them. But if it was, you don't want to put yourself in combat when you can just go to the next floor. The only reason we kill mobs is so that we can loot the chest. If there is no chest to loot, we run past the mobs. That's just how it is. But without scouting the dungeon with a skip set, you won't know this. But using a skip set for a solo dungeon is not time efficient. So this boss tends to put on a little shield of itself. So it will take a little bit more time because he just applied the shield. But you can see that we're still melting his HP down relatively quickly. And there we go. We got our blue chest, first blue chest of the day. 75,000. This is a 6-1 Great Curse Staff. This thing's worth 71,000. So there we go. That one's all right. If every chest was like that, this would be totally worth doing. So we got a little lucky there. This isn't exactly what I would consider a jackpot. This is maybe like a small win, you know? It's a small win. We're 10 minutes in, and we haven't made too much. Now, we filled some journals, but again, I'm not factoring in the journals for this. So now it's off to the next dungeon, and you just this is the part where it can really affect how many dungeons per hour you're actually doing here. So we're going to we got a blue guy that just got killed there. I'm actually going to touch this champion of Martlock, just fire a few attacks on him, and that way I can get credit when they clear that, so that's cool. That puts me in. That's just going to get me more faction points. We're not factoring in faction point earnings for this video or anything. But we do need to find another solo dungeon. And I just want to show you real quick. I'm going to kill an open world mob here. Look at the fame that I get from this open world mob. Look, watch. 6,630, right? And that's with premium. That's with satchel. And when I went into the solo dungeon, I was getting like 1,000 for the same mob. Again, you get 6 times, and especially these big glowing mobs here. Like, normally, I will stop and fight these, because they're actually worth doing. Look at that, 15,139. In a complete safe zone. Yes, this guy wants to do a little courtesy spin. He's in the video. He made it in the video. I didn't read his name, though. I'm sorry, guy. Someone send him a whisper or a mail and tell him. Okay, so we're still looking for solo dungeons here, and this could take some time because, again, when they added corrupted dungeons, they lowered the pool of available dungeons, and then when they added wisps, the wisps take the place of the solo dungeons as well. They didn't get new spawns, they just replaced spawns. Alright, we are here, and I can already tell this is a new tile set. I've never seen this tile set with the wide open, gap here between the mobs. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill these dudes and then get started. Now, I used my Panther sprint ability earlier, so I can't use my boot ability for just a bit. I don't really need it. We can caltrop the bats, which doesn't make sense because they're flying. Why are bats landing in caltrops on the ground? That's weird. I mean, maybe I'm just a really skilled, like, crossbow user, and I'm shooting the caltrops in the air and catching the bats. Like, they're just snapping shut in midair or something. I don't know. But, we can pretend. Alright, we got our boots. We're going to activate our boots, and then we're going to run forward. And before our boots run out, we're going to activate our armor, so we get that damage buff boost for the armor on the armor. And it stays. Like, my boots are no longer active, but that damage buff that I had when I activated my armor stays. So that means that I'm just dealing more AoE damage, which means I can just shoot these guys once, walk past them, and they're dead. I don't even have to shoot the little baby mobs here. And then we can shoot those guys, caltrops them, and then shoot them once more. And look at that. I'm able to continue moving forward in the dungeon while progressing. And that's awesome. You know, that's really efficient. Let's use our armor, use our boots, activate our armor. We got another green chest here. Lots of green chests, but hey, I'm not complaining because it could be worse. These could be tome chests. Another 2K chest. Again, lots of 2K chests. This is with premium, by the way. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but yeah, with premium, bros, it's not looking too good. Oh, man, solo done, like, if you go, like, 3 years ago, like, look at my old Albion Online videos where I did this exact same thing, right? Exact same activity. You'll notice that I'm earning, like, 2 million silver per hour doing it back then. Okay, we got blue buff this time. So, you know, blue buff's alright. It's slower cooldowns, which is fine. It's better than green buff. But when you watch those old videos, you will note that I consistently made like over 2 million silver per hour. And that was back when premium only cost 6 million silver. Look how much premium is now. 18.1 million silver. It went up 100k since earlier today. Like, I guess everyone's resubbing for the new year or something. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Just how much they nerf the earnings, okay? And someone out there's gonna be like, "Oh no, they didn't nerf anything. It's the black market. The black market's not getting filled enough." And yet, yes, it is. The black market is getting filled just as much as it did back in the day. It's just, they literally tweaked it because people were making too much silver doing a safe activity. That's what they did. Don't try to hide. That's not what they're doing, okay? So you can see here when I kill these mobs, I'm getting like 1,800 fame, 1,200 fame. When I kill that one open world mob, 6,000 or 15,000. There's like no constant. We got another purple chest here. Actually, this is a legendary. We got a legendary chest, guys. That's super cool. Now, look how disappointing this chest is going to be. Look, legendary chest. Let's go. We're going to open this. Look how much we didn't make. 39,000. That's all we made from a legendary... Dude, back in the day, if you found a legendary chest, it was like guaranteed $1 million. At least from a chest, okay? And, yeah, back in the day, we were making like $2 million an hour doing this. And right now, we're not making nothing. We're making absolutely dirt garbage amounts of silver. I could have killed like 10 Impalas and made that legendary chest. That's how bad it is. That's how bad silver is these days. And you hate to see it. And people just don't understand how bad solo dungeons are. You know, I'm going to go ahead and farm these mobs. Because that's what I would normally do. Because it's good fame, man. It's alright fame. And yes, that guy dropped an item. I'm going to go back for it. No, he didn't drop an item. But look at the silver these guys dropped. 1,420. Look at that. If I killed like 30 of those guys, which you can do in minutes, I would have made the same amount of silver that legendary chest gave me. And this is with premium. Most players don't have premium. So I would have only earned 15,000 from that chest. That's how bad things have gotten. You don't understand just how bad it is for new players playing this game. When they're starting out, you know, I actually find doing the dungeons fun. Okay, I'm a little bit weird, but there's no point to do them if you don't get rewarded for doing them, right? Like, I think it's cool to go into dungeons and kill bosses and loot treasure chests. That's what a lot of people play video games to do. Like, that's literally all of Skyrim. Like, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 the past week or two, and I go into a dungeon, I do some quests, I kill some bad guys or whatever, and then there's chests. There's boxes to open. There's barrels to search through. There's cabinets to, you know, sift through. But no one does that in Albion anymore. The only loot chests are other players that you pop with your 10 friends in a black zone. That's it. That's the game now. There's no PvE left to do. But hey, we're doing all right. We're fighting some solo dungeons. We got 15 minutes to go, and we've maybe earned 100K, right? Doing this so far. So right now we're on pace for 400K an hour, which is last time I evaluated this with premium was about 360K per hour. So we're doing okay. We're on par for the course, but we're gonna see what we end up earning. And I'm just gonna go ahead and activate my jacket now because this tile set kind of sucks. Whatever. And yeah, I don't have a move speed boost, so I'm gonna be using caltrops to get that rolling. Yeah, man, it's just this game. Something happened with this game. Like, the devs, it's not so much the devs being money hungry. I think it's like Germany's economy sucking and Stillfront buying the game out. For those that don't know, Sandbox Interactive made this game through funding through Kickstarter, and they sold out for like 60-something million back in 2020 or something. There's a fountain over here, by the way, behind the curtains, and it's never been the same since. Yes, there's mobs over there, but because I didn't alert them, they are not considered... They're not going to be a problem later, okay? Same thing with these guys. I didn't alert them, so I can just skip them. I'll be able to loot the chest just fine. And actually, this is the end of the dungeon, so I don't even need to fight these guys. I can just get booped to the second floor. There we go. So that was a dungeon with no chest, by the way. No chest on that first floor. So yeah, that's another time sink too. And these new tile sets, you're gonna see that more and more often. And you really hate to see it too. That's what sucks. It's like, it's not good for the players. Dungeons need a revamp. Like, I would be happy if this activity made 1 million per hour. That's the minimum that I need to do it, because hell, I can make a similar amount doing gathering, right? But gathering is kind of boring, you know? I don't mind switching it up, you know, from time to time. Gather, do dungeons. But as of right now, and we got a blue chest. Here we go. For those wondering, how do I know what color the chest is going to be? It's the size. The size of the chest, okay? Rewind the video, look at the green chest, look at the blue chest, look at the purples, and the legendary. We got all the colors. That's a 4K chest. A little, you know, it's basically 2 green chests, man. It sucks. It's so bad. So bad. Oh, I weep for new players. If I was starting out in 2024 playing this game, I would not play. I would not play this game with the current state that it is in, with what I know. And that's what everyone says, funny enough, about like that EVE Online, which this game heavily copies from. It's like, this game is just EVE Online, but in medieval times with magic, and they changed the homework up a little bit. That's what the game is. No kidding. And oh look, the new tile set. They added some grass and trees in a little book here. You know, someone got paid to like spend like 6 months to add some tile sets, bro. Like that doesn't help the players. It's cool to look at the grass, I guess, but you nerf the tile sets, bro. Like, we just want loot. We just want a safe and fun way to get some loot. And here's the thing, like people complain that not enough players are in the black zone. And you want to know why? Because like, okay, if you're a new player and you're doing, oh, we got green buff, ew, gross. If you're a new player and you're doing this activity to make money, it's going to take you like 3 to 4 hours to get a decent enough set to go to the mists, and then you're going to lose it in 5 minutes, and then it's back to farming for the next 5 hours. You're basically screwed. New players just are completely screwed. Alright, we got a purple chest, very cool. There we go, another purple chest, on the record, could be good, could be crap, we'll see. And I missed my cue, wow, embarrassing. Okay, purple chest, 28k, flat 5 great hammer. That's it, that's all we got, man. Oh, jeez, I am so sorry, new players. If I was in charge, this would be a better activity. And you know what sucks is that the black zone players actually suffer too. They suffer along with us because doing this same activity in, oh, I got a little flag guy here. What's he doing? Well, he's got 8.3 Skinner's Garb. That guy is tanky. I'm not gonna fight him. He could just run away with his set. I couldn't do much. He could also be a bait target. Anyway, the black zone players who do dungeons, like mapped dungeons, they're putting a lot at risk. They're using an expensive set to farm the maps, right? They get invaded and stuff. They have potential to lose all of their loot, and then they have to actually get the loot home safely without dying to gankers. They're not earning anything either. I mean, you might see a video once in a while from a creator that shows that they do like a tier 8 dungeon map and they get a crazy good drop, because yes, potentially this right here, this crypt candle worth 11 million could drop in a tier 8 black zone dungeon. This light crossbow could drop 15 million, right? It's possible, but it's very mathematically unlikely. It is has someone already been in this dungeon? Because that wasn't there. Okay, someone's been in this dungeon. So that's interesting. I'm stealing a dungeon now. Or I'm helping them clear it. I'm not really sure, but it looks like they skipped. What is going on here? They skipped the first few mobs. Or maybe they killed one thing and left. I don't know. I won't know until I clear deeper. But I know how to steal the chests. I made a video on how to do that. So we're going to employ that tactic if there's someone at the end here. And this is not a mapped dungeon. This is just a regular randomly spawned dungeon. It's not one that a player made or anything. And hey, look, we got purple chest. So that's cool. And yes, I could just stand in the attacks because I'm max geared. But no, the mapped dungeon farmer. Oh, it's not, it's blue chest, my bad. Whatever. We got 5k from that one. The people running the risky map dungeons, right? Every once in a while, they'll get a really good drop, okay? Every once in a while, they will. But all I want you to do is when you see someone making that kind of video, go to murderledger.com and check how many times they died and the loot that they had when they died, and you're gonna see that it's not consistent for them. Like, they are constantly dying out there, especially unless they're like in a big guild or something, then they won't be. But usually they'll have a bunch of guild vids, you know, because their guilds make those vids. Anyway, the point is that you can run like a month's worth of solo dungeons and never get that drop. Never, ever, ever. I'm going to cancel my aura because I don't want to put myself in combat, so I can go straight to the next level. The point is that, yes, every once in a while you will get a jackpot, but here's the thing. By running the yellow zone solo dungeons as quickly as I'm showing you, you will get more jackpots more consistently. And you know, the jackpots can be decently high. And because I'm only clearing a floor in a minute and not 15 minutes, right? And, you know, suffering through heavy risk, then, you know, at the end of the day, I'm earning more overall consistently than they are. Yeah, they could get a big jackpot, and for a while they'll be earning more. And then, you know, factor in all the times they die, factor in all the times and all the time they spent clearing the dungeons and whatnot, you know, And you'll see that the silver per hour is not as good. That's another like 2k. Yikes, dude. Ugh, it's so bad. But yeah, dungeons suck, bro. I'm doing this as a public service announcement for anyone curious, because I know there's always... This game's always getting new players, right? And you go to Reddit, and you know what they tell you to do? Do solo dungeons. Do solo dungeons. They're really good and fun and stuff. No, never listen to Reddit on anything ever again anymore. Never, ever. Reddit is bad for you. Reddit is literally bad. Alright, let's jack it up here. Kill these dudes. I'm going to the boss room. There we are. Kill that guy. Get my life back. And let's see. I don't know what the tile set is. They added all the new tile sets, so it's harder to determine what kind of chest I'm walking into here. But yeah, our jacket's about to run out right before the boss. That's fine because I have the helmet. Get the jacket power right back. Activate boots. Activate jacket. Activate all the cool stuff. And there we go. We're just blasting this boss down. Blue chest achieved. Let's go. We got 15k. Again, still no jackpots. We have not jackpotted once so far in 26 minutes. We have 4 minutes remaining. That's about enough time to do one more solo dungeon. We'll do one more. Even though it might spill over the 30-minute mark, we're just gonna count it, okay? Just gonna count it. And we just gotta find the dungeon. We just gotta find the dungeon. And also, I just want to check, make sure the bonus today is in group dungeons. Okay, group dungeons is the bonus for today. Also, it's a crossbow crafting day. That's nice. There's some money to be made there for sure. All right, last dungeon. Let's go. We got like 3 minutes and... Or no, we still got 4 minutes. 4 minutes left for the 30 minutes. Making okay progress here. And, yeah, here we go. We are getting her done. How many journals did I fill? Not too much. Like, what's funny is I could fill all these tier 5 mercenary journals in, like, a few minutes doing a static. That's the saddest thing, too, is, it's not a good this is not a good activity for fame. Not anymore. It used to be the only activity. That's why we did it. But it also gave good rewards, right? I miss the old days, bros. I really do. You know, the old days were better. It was just easier to make money. It's kind of like in real life, right? Like, everyone complains that, like, in the 1940s or 50s, like, you could work making $3 an hour or something. And in today's wages, that would be $26 an hour. Well, there's nowhere in my part of the world that pays $26 an hour to a teenager starting out, you know, with his first job with no skills, right? It just doesn't exist. But back then, that $3.25, that's an unskilled laborer. That's someone just starting fresh at a grocery store or fast food place, you know, or helping their dad, like, fix houses up or something. Man, I really wish I knew how to, like, build stuff and be a tool guy and be a handyman. I think I chose the wrong hobby path. Oh, we got the snow dungeon. So you can see here the activity here. It's what is this? Uncle Frost is happening right now. So this is a little bonus boss. Where the hell is he? There he is. He's over here in the corner, just being a dipstick. So Uncle Frost is just a Christmas skin of Arthos. Same moveset. And there we go. So always loot Uncle Frost here. He's the one that could drop the Yuletide mount. We got snowballs, which aren't really worth anything, but it is an extra chest. So we're earning a little bit more than we normally would, but we're going to count it, okay? We're just going to count it, because for all I know, the game could be programmed to just give you a boss instead of Uncle Frost. I don't know how it works, but I'll take the Uncle Frost there. We got one Uncle Frost down. I kill him every year. I've never gotten the skin since I've played. I don't know anyone that's ever gotten the skin. There's a little hidden shrine. So on shrines, always into all of your channels so that you can get your cooldowns back. Sometimes the red buff, which it just did, gave me my cooldowns back. It doesn't always do that, but sometimes it does. The blue buff almost always will. And oh man, it's just so nice to be able to run through the dungeon with red buff. I wish that that group dungeons had shrine buffs. I really wish they did. It would be so fun to do a group dungeon with this kind of power. It would just be the neatest thing ever. And there we go. That's the last chest. We got another 14,000. So we're gonna return to town now. And see, and yes, I know there's like a minute left. There's a minute left. Whoop-de-doo, right? It's fine, you know, that's a regular amount of time. We're going to multiply our earnings by 2, and that's going to be our hourly wage, so to speak. And returning to town with this gear and these items cost 80,000. I'm 3 zones away. Well, it says I'm 4 zones away. I'm really 3 zones, but whatever, game can't count. So here's that faction buff I talked about earlier. 50% more fame, loot, silver. Good stuff. Good stuff. Also, being faction fine gives you faction points, which lets you buy faction chests. I'm not going to factor that in. Here's the repair bill. I didn't get down to only 14,000. We basically paid 100,000 for 30 minutes. Just keep that in mind. Now, again, the travel back time, you wouldn't travel back in 30 minutes. You would travel back in 1 hour. So let's just call it 100K if you're lazy. 100K if you're lazy, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put the journals away because that's gonna mess with the earnings a little bit here. And so you can see these journals. Each of these journals is gonna be worth about 1,000 to 2,000 average. So anyway, journals get put up. And so we earned 238,000 in 30 minutes. That's above average. And wait, what are the snowballs worth? So, okay, they're worth nothing. So that's not doing it. It's this great curse staff here. This is the lucky find of the 30 minutes, and it wasn't even that much. But without it, 166K, that would be 320K per hour. With the staff, we're earning 476K per hour. We're not even earning 500K per hour doing solo dungeons, and the fame isn't that good. Again, it's just not worth your time to do. Just go gather. Just go gather, bro. It's worth way more silver than this. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much. Solo dungeons in 2024 in Albion Online are not worth doing, and they earn you about 400K per hour. That's with premium. Without premium, you're earning much, much less. Anyway, and yes, you could be like, oh, you can't do one dungeon and then officially announce how much it earns per hour. No. I do thousands of these. I spreadsheet them all. I document them all, every single one. To keep track of these kinds of things, right? You can go out and consistently do this, and you're going to get around 300 to 400K per hour. That's what I generally do. When I play for 19 hours a day, and I want to, say, do dungeons for 12 hours, I document the whole thing for 12 hours, and I write down everything that, that drops and earns, spreadsheet it out, do all the math, and this video is just a sample size, a snippet, right? And that's what I consistently earn, is around this much. This is a pretty average dungeon run for 30 minutes. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. And if leave a like, because people don't like to leave likes for some reason. It's 2024. Get used to liking my vids, please. Finally. On the right side of your screen, there is a video that you should absolutely click. And if you don't click it, food that you find kind of spicy, but in a pleasurable way, will be insanely spicy for some reason, and it's not going to be fun to eat the food that you got.